What's good? This is Trey. Welcome to this presentation. The topic for today is how to stop being creepy and start being a sexy beast. All right, let's look at this word creepy. What does it mean to be creepy? Okay, essentially, a woman will label a man creepy if he demonstrates that he is more interested in her than she is in him. That's when it starts to become creepy. And not only that, if he somehow demonstrates and creates the feeling in her that he is of lower value than her, like he's of lower value, she's of higher value, and he's somehow trying to pursue or force himself on her, that will creep her out. Okay? Now, let's flip the script. I mean, wouldn't you be creeped out if if there was some girl that you thought was hideous, right? Or just below your standards, right? And she just kept forcing herself on you. Or she was trying to spit game at you, or she was trying to get at you. Like, there's nothing she can do or say to get you because you see her as below your standards, or you're just, you don't see her as attractive, right? And so we as men, if we don't want to be creepy, we have to understand you do not want to show more interest in a woman than she has in you. Like, that should be a rule. Never show more interest in a woman than she's showing in you. Okay? You show interest when she shows interest. Okay? Now, obviously, as the man, you have to move things forward. So you can show like slight interest in the sense of it's just like masculine energy moving forward. But you gauge how she responds to that slight interest. So for example, if I approach a woman and I say, hey, how you doing? I will gauge her response before I say anything else, right? Because I need to see where is her interest level. Because if I say, hey, how you doing? And she looks at me with disgust, the worst thing I can do is say, hey, I just thought you were beautiful. That would be so stupid because she just showed that she's not interested. So if I show interest, now I'm going to creep her out and make her think I'm weird. So that's the first thing we understand. Never show more interest in a woman than she shows in you. The second thing is you want to get really good at demonstrating that you are a man of value. Now, how you do that is your art. You need to get artistic in your life, in your communication, in your beingness, and somehow you need to demonstrate that you are not an average guy. Women are not looking for average guys, and they're definitely not looking for below average guys. Okay, so you need to demonstrate value. Now, how do you do this? Everything. They look at the whole package. Everything. So we need to cover all bases to the best of our ability. Right? Like, I'm not trying to be somebody I'm not, but I looked at what I've been given and I've amplified it to the best of my ability. Okay? So, for example, my body language. I worked on my body language. Okay? Like, I went out and approached women and worked on my mannerisms. I worked on, how I stand when I talk to her. Like, when I just started, I was like, nervous and I look stiff and shit like that. And I practiced. And now, when I talk to women, I'll be standing like this and I'll be talking to her, or I'll, it's just, you work on, or when I'm talking, I'll move my hands a certain way, You can work on these things. You can practice these things. You don't have to just leave it up to chance. Okay, my style, I work on my style, right? My communication, my tonality, the way how I use my voice. These are all things that you have control of. You don't have to just be how you were, at your default state or your default version of you. You can improve. Like, that's what makes life so fun, is that we have the ability to improve and mold our character and our beingness in the way how we want it to be and make ourselves as attractive as possible, right? Like, you can literally say today, I want to be a sexy beast. And you can literally start becoming a sexy beast. Now, how do you become a sexy beast? You look at guys who are sexy, find guys who are sexy and look at what they're doing and see how you can do something similar. Don't try to be anybody. Like, you can't be anybody, but you can take what you like and add it to your character and understand what women find attractive, right? Always remember the five values that Mystery gave us. Create your character around these: pre-selection, leader of men, successful risk taker, healthy emotions, and protector of loved ones. Yeah, okay. So what I would do if I were you, I would find characters that have these qualities. Find men who have these qualities and study them and learn from them, right? Learn from these guys that you think are attractive, that you think that you see get women or whatever, and figure out, why is he getting women and I'm not? Or why is he getting more women than me? Or why is he getting higher quality women than me? Look at it. Now, don't be shallow about it. Don't just look at the surface. Look at what's going on deeper. Like, for example, you see a guy getting women. Maybe he's a good-looking guy. But one thing you got to ask yourself, because I used to think, oh, you know, you just got to be good-looking, you get women. But we got to remember, there's plenty of good-looking guys out there, and a woman will choose a specific good-looking guy. That's what I noticed. It's not like they just, oh, he's good-looking, I'm going to get with him. It's a specific good-looking guy. That means there's certain things that he's doing in addition to being good looking. So that's what we need to look at. Because I've spoken to women, and I speak to older women, because older women are much better at communicating how they feel and attraction and stuff like that. Younger women can kind of mislead you with what they say, but older women tend to be a little more better at giving you good advice, or at least verbalizing how they feel about stuff. So one thing they told me is that the reason why they go for good-looking guys is because their good looks helps the woman to look past all the shit he's doing wrong. That's why they go for these good-looking guys. Is a lot of times it's because, okay, like if there's two guys and they're both being pussies, or they're both not being masculine, and one's good-looking and the other one's not, she's gonna go with the good-looking guy. But what we have not been told is that that good-looking guy can be beat by the guy who shows up and he's grounded in his masculinity. The guy who shows up and he can express himself authentically. The guy who shows up and he can handle tension. Like, he can handle challenging situations. He can handle shit tests. That guy can beat the good-looking guy, right? Because that guy, by nature, should be with that girl because he's more powerful. He's more effective. If the guy's just good-looking but he has nothing going for him, she biologically is going to feel more attraction for a guy who has more power. So essentially what we want to go for is demonstrating power. Now, what is power, right? Power to her is the guy who can move her emotionally. Whoever can move her emotionally the most, that to her is the most attractive guy. It's not the guy who's physically the best looking. A guy who's physically good looking, he triggers something in a woman. He's triggering something in a woman. So you may not have the looks, but there's another way that you can trigger something in that woman, right? You don't have to use your looks, right? You can use your communication, right? You can use your body language. You can use your, the way you use your words. You can use your ability to create images when you speak. Create an experience. Look, you can use your ability to acquire resources, or your ability to influence your environment. She needs to see power. She needs to see value. Like, how will she benefit if she gets with you? Because we got to remember, attraction is selfish. It's about what the person gets, right? The reason we're attracted to a certain woman is because we're getting her replication value. It's that attraction is selfish. It's her replication value, and then whatever, in addition to that, whatever other value she has. So, okay, let's say she's beautiful, but she also is, spiritual, or she's intelligent, or she's feminine. Now these other things add on, okay, but it's selfish in the sense of, oh, we're benefiting because she has those qualities. It's not like we're just doing it to do it, or else we just get with an ugly chick. Right? She needs to have certain things that we value. So it's the same thing, vice versa. So to become a sexy beast, man, we just have to hit those 5 triggers that Mystery gave us: pre-selection, leader of men, protector of loved ones, healthy emotions, and successful risk taker. We need to become a man who demonstrates these qualities in the way he looks, the way he sounds, the way he acts, the way he, all around. We need to hit these triggers. And then we need to amplify whatever characteristics and personality traits that we've been given. We need to amplify these things, right? So for example, me, I am by nature, like my character, my beingness naturally, I am the kind of guy that's is good at focusing on something and being logical about something and using it to get a result. So that's what I did when it came to women. Like at first I was very awkward and nervous and shy around women or whatever, but I was an intelligent guy. So what I did was I applied my intelligence to the field of dating, you know, to the field of attraction, to the field of seduction. I applied my intelligence to that, and I used that to get me to a place where I was able to get results with women, right? Being at a place where, you know, I was awkward, shy, nervous, I couldn't, you know what I mean? I couldn't talk to women, but I applied my intelligence until I evolved into the kind of guy that no longer had those problems, right? So I used what I was given to get a certain result. I wasn't super good looking, or I wasn't super social. I have great social skills. I didn't have super game or whatever, but I had intelligence and I had discipline and I had the ability to apply my logic to things. So I applied my logic to getting women, right? So what characteristics do you have? You need to apply it to what you're doing, right? And be smart, man. Find your niche. Find where you can be most effective. Like I was watching this video, I think it was maybe a month or two ago, of this nerdy guy, super nerdy guy. He plays video games and all that shit, like excessively, you know what I mean? And he knows all the little details of the game and all that. But what he did was he went to some events where there's other nerds, and there was girls, cute girls that were into that stuff. And so he showed up, and now his nerdiness was actually valuable because these girls were into, you know, they're into nerdy shit. They were into the video games and stuff. So when he started talking about it, they were like, oh, really? Yeah, tell me more. You know, they were loving that shit because to them, that's value. So we need to understand, right? Value is perceived, right? Each person sees value differently. Now, you want to hit those core values that we talk about because that's what's going on below the surface, right? Like that's how you can beat the competition. Like let's say a guy, you know, he's very smooth or whatever, but if he doesn't know what's going on below the surface on a biological level, you can beat him with that. You'll get the edge, right? So that's why I make sure I hit those. But then on top of that, it's like, okay, now you let your expression show. You need to express yourself authentically. You need to amplify these traits you've been given and become the best version of yourself, the most attractive version of yourself, all right? So that's the advice, man. I don't want to draw this out too long. If you don't want to be creepy, stop showing, do not show more interest in a woman than she's showing in you. And always communicate in a way where you're demonstrating that you're higher value than her. By nature, she's supposed to mate with a guy who is higher value than her, who can raise her quality of life, right? Not a guy who's reactive to her, not a guy who has her on a pedestal, no, she's looking for a guy who's greater than her biologically. Okay, she's not gonna say that. They're gonna probably say, yeah, I need a partner, somebody who's the same. No. They're looking for somebody who's greater than them. Okay, so you need to demonstrate that. Do not put her on a pedestal. Like guys, actually, their game is literally to tell the girl how beautiful she is and make her feel like a princess and blah 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 blah. She doesn't want that. There's too many guys doing that for her already. So that is not good. That is not game. It's the guy who is grounded in his masculinity, that's not reactive, that's willing to walk away, that has an abundance mindset, that doesn't give a fuck what she says, that doesn't need her validation, right? The guy that just wants her but doesn't need her, right? That's the guy who she's seeking, okay? And the guy who can elevate her quality of life and help her to have the experiences and live the life that she wants to live, okay? She's looking for a guy who's winning, right? Maybe you haven't won yet, right? Maybe you haven't hit your goals and you're not at that, you know, on top of the mountain yet. But if she sees that you're moving up, that's attractive to her because she's like, yeah, I want to go on the ride, right? They want to go on the ride. Like when they see a guy's getting hot and he's going somewhere, they want to get on the ride. But when you're going down, no, they don't want to go down with you, man. Or if you're stagnant, they don't want to be stagnant with you. They want the guy who's going up. All right? So that's the advice. If you're watching this and you'd like a systematic approach to evolving into the best version of yourself, evolving into the most attractive version of yourself, the most confident version of yourself, the most grounded and masculine version of yourself, I have a program called the Unbreakable Beast Program where we work together. We work together on a weekly basis. So each week we jump on a call. I give you some action steps to take that's going to help you improve and hit your goal in regards to your dating life, right? So if you're trying to get a girlfriend, I'll give you some action steps to do that. If you just want abundance, you want options, I'll help you with that. If you want a certain caliber of woman or a certain type of whatever you're trying to achieve in your dating life, we would be working together and I'll be guiding you in that direction and making sure that you're consistent, holding you accountable and, you're moving and evolving, okay? So if you're interested in something like that, hit me up. I'll give you the details. It's an 8-week program. So we'll be working together for 8 weeks. So basically 2 months. And after the 2 months, my promise to you is that you will be an unbreakable beast. What does that mean? You will be grounded in your masculinity. You will have unbreakable confidence and you'll have the power to create the dating life of your dreams. If you're interested, hit me up and I'll give you the details. Thanks for watching. Peace.